In light of this TikTok ban that was done in America for just a few hours, a lot of nations and a lot of people came out online talking about finally we can get exposure now that the Americans are out of the picture and so forth. And I've seen so many people talking about Commonwealth countries taking over the app and so forth. And then I saw this image which made me think a little bit over here. Basically, you see everyone basically like at the King Arthur's round table, basically calling the shots and making new world order decisions. You see Australia, whether it's the UK, and some countries from Europe, all bringing something to the table. And right there, at your bottom right, you see all countries in Africa, all grouped together. And nothing against this post or the person that posted it, but it just had me thinking. It's funny how the world always groups Africa into one. Have you seen those interviews where people are asked, so what language do they speak in Africa? Africa has about 54, maybe 55 countries, so many different languages. And within those countries, there are like hundreds of languages as well. Same thing with the music. When you go to the Grammys, you get like Best African Artist and Afro beats. Basically, every African song from different parts of Africa is grouped as Afro beats, where you have someone like Tyler competing with a Burna Boy or a Wizkid. Not knowing that, for example, in South Africa, they have Amapiano. And then in the West Africa, they have Afrobeats. For example, in Central Africa, they have Rumba and so forth. There's Kwaito as well in South Africa. But everything always gets grouped into one. The world quickly forgets that without Africa, there would be nothing up there in Europe and the West. But I guess, we like to pick and choose which parts of history we want. Have you all forgotten about the scramble for Africa, where European countries basically divided the whole continent, just looking for, some spare change, basically. And yeah, it's just funny. And it reminds me of the time when Putin, the president of China, as well as Joe Biden as well, when he was, going into office and he invited different leaders from around the world. They all came, just as presidents should. They came in limousines and so forth and private transportation. And African presidents were all grouped into one bus. Now granted, there were some that didn't go, like the Museveni from Uganda and so forth. But yeah, it was really embarrassing. Africa really needs to step up their game.